Did you know that in Power BI, you can have your users create emails directly from your reports with contextual information about your visuals? And this doesn't require Power Automate or Power Apps, just a simple DAX measure. Let me show you how it's done. For many Power BI reports, it can be super helpful to have this ability to create emails with information from your visuals. Now, my first thought was, I need Power Automate or Power Apps, but that's quite complex to set up and it requires the right licenses. However, with this solution that I'm going to show you, you just need a DAX measure. Now, let me show you. So over here, we have sales information, quota information for different employees. And right there in the last column, you already see mail icon. And when I click on it, it generates this email over here with the right person to send it to, the manager in CC. We have a nice subject line for the selected month. And here in the middle of the email, we have information about the sales, the quota, and even more data than was in the visual. We have also quota, new deals closed, churned ARR for that sales employee. That's pretty amazing, right? Now, let me show you how it works. So here we have the same table without the email functionality. Now, the first thing that we're going to do is add a measure. Now, let's call this measure mail is equal to, and the magic all starts with this keyword mail to, colon, followed by the email address, the person that we are sending the email to. Now, let's pick somebody from this list. Let's say James Hartley. So james.hartley@datatraining.io. All right, so we have the measure. Now I want to be able to click on an employee name and that it opens up an email. All right, now to do that, we just have to select the table, go to cell elements, and then here we select the field that we want to make clickable. So employee. Then here we can make use of web URL. Let's turn it on. And now we select, of course, the measure that we just created. And now I can click here on James Hartley and allow the email to open. Boom, we have our email. Now, of course, we want to have a subject line and the body. And of course, when we click on a different employee like Aisha, then I want to see the email of Aisha. All right, so let's go back. Let's select our email measure. Now what we need to do over here is to not hard code James. So I'm going to delete it. I'm going to put a quotation mark there at the end. We can also put it here and then an ampersand sign. Now I want to have the email address of the employee that's on that row, which we can do with a selected value function. Okay, now it only returns the email address when there's only one, right? So we need to make sure that only one email address gets returned. Now, let's search for email. All right, there it is. And let's try this again. So now I'm going to click again on Aisha. And this time we would send the email to the right person. All right, now, of course, we need a subject line and maybe also something within the email, right? So we're going to extend what we have here a little bit further. Let's put this first on the next line. And here at the end, I'm going to add an ampersand. We're going to combine this with the next part. And here we're going to basically list all the different kinds of parameters like subject. Now, what parameters can you choose from? Let me show you. Now here you see we can also add CC, BCC, subject, and body. Now, we don't have to define all of them. We can just choose the ones that we need, like subject and body. Let's go for those. I'm going to go back to a measure and write over here another quotation mark. And what is really important is that question mark now. What do we want? Which parameter? Subject. Then it's very tempting to also add a colon here, but that's wrong. We need an equal sign, not like over here, the colon. All right. Now what's going to be our subject? Let's say your monthly sales performance. All right. Now that we are on it, let's continue straight away with the body of the email as well. So this time we don't need that question mark, but what we do need is another ampersand. This ampersand combines basically this text string with the next one. However, within the URL that generates that email, we also need an ampersand. So we need to start over here with an ampersand and then body is equal to. Now, don't do this. This wouldn't work. You cannot have a space there. It needs to be connected to body. All right. Now, after it, we can have a space. So your sales performance was outstanding. Okay. Now, let's see if this works. Now I have to close my quotation marks, cross my fingers. Let's click on layout. Yes, it's working, right? We have here your monthly sales performance in the subject line, and then here in the body, your sales performance was outstanding, and we are sending it to the right person. Quick side note, one of the most important things in Power BI is having clean data. Now, we can do this with all different kinds of transformations in Power Query. Now, I've put together 3 hours of video materials that walk you through all different kinds of transformations, which you can watch completely for free by clicking this link over here. Now, if that sounds interesting to you, then just follow the link, verify your email address, and you're in. That's it. I hope it helps you out. Let's go back to the video. Now, what we have over here is basically the whole idea. However, real life is always a bit more complex. So let's add a little bit of complexity here. Now, I'm going to go back, and first of all, I'm going to format this nicely so we can just push this a little bit to the right with our tab key, just like this. And now in the body, I also want to know the exact sales amount of that person, right? So I'm going to go over here, add another ampersand sign because we're going to concatenate text. And I just want to refer to our sales measure. Now this will work. However, it will be not nicely formatted. So it's probably a good idea to wrap this inside of a format function where the second parameter that we put in here has the formatting code. Now, if you have no clue about how all of that works, just check this video over here. All right. Now, here I want to have 1000 separators. So I'm going to go for this formatting code, no decimals. And of course, we need a little bit of text right in front of it. So quotation mark right after that ampersand. And here we can say, you sold this much. Okay. Now, then quotation mark, I leave a space there, right? Then ampersand, and that combines it with the sales amount. Okay, now this is on a separate line. However, that doesn't mean that in the email it shows on a separate line. Now, let me show you. You see, it just continues on that first line. Your sales performance was outstanding. You sold this much. Now, I want to have it on a separate line. Now, how to do that? Now, if I want to put this all on a new line, what we need to do is put in between these 2 sentences the following magic characters that look like this. Now, what's that? That's a garage return and new line feed. So basically, Windows and Outlook, they understand that this means new line. Okay, so if I repeat this right after, so I can also put it like this in between, that's also fine. And that ampersand I don't need. Then over here, I can say, you rock. Okay, so we should have 3 sentences, 3 lines. Okay, now let's see if this is true. Boom, there you go. We have your sales performance was outstanding. You sold this much, you rock. All right, so it's getting more and more realistic. Now, let me show you an example that's already done. That's a little bit more extensive and how I would write it in real life. Now I'm going to add a new measure, and I'm just going to copy over an example that I already have. And yes, I know what you're thinking, well, that looks way longer. However, it's the same thing. It's just more input parameters and a longer body for the email. Now everything here is pretty much the same up to this point. Now here we have quota percentage formatted. So it uses a format function to return the percentage number nicely with a percentage behind it. However, then I substitute the percentage with this thingy over here. Now, why is that necessary? Because in the URL, that percentage also has a meaning, and it would parse the wrong way, and, well, your email body would not show. So we need to escape the percentage. All right, so that's exactly what I've done over here. I think spaces, commas, semicolons, all of that is parsed the correct way. So keep this in mind that if your body doesn't show, it might be because of some special character that you need to escape. Now, then we have some logic built in. So if that quota percentage is above 1.1, then it's outstanding, otherwise on target or needs improvement. Same for the greeting. So over here, it's also dependent on the quota percentage. And here I also put the new line symbols in a variable so that I can easily call it later on. But it's basically just putting different text strings together. That's it. And then over here at the end there, I nicely have it separated by mail to email, CC, manager email, subject, body. Now, let's see this in action. We have to go back to our table, and here I'm going to click on web URL. Instead of mail, I'm going to use our new measure, email performance notice. Now, let's click on James again from the beginning, and ta-da, we have the same thing, however, now a little bit more realistic. Now, one last thing that I think is really cool is, well, maybe you don't want to have the link on the employee name because it might not be that intuitive. Instead of that, what we're going to do is remove it from there, and I'm just going to add email performance notice on columns so that we get an extra column. However, I don't want to show this. I want that email icon that I showed you all the way at the beginning of the introduction. So how to achieve that is by taking your measure, then go to measure tools, data category, and then here we can choose web URL. And well, that's not it just yet. We have to go then also to the table formatting options, where we can go to URL icon, turn it on for values. Ta-da. And now I'm going to rename email performance notice to, let's say, mail. Could also leave it empty, so just put in a space, would also work. So now we have these little envelopes in case the users want to send an email with contextual information. In the body of that email for that employee, they just have to click on it, and all of the parameters are already filled out. We have the person to send it to, we have somebody in CC, we have a subject line that's dynamic, dependent on the month that is selected, and we have a body that contains all of that contextual information for that employee. I think pretty amazing, and once you know it, it's relatively simple to set up. Much simpler than Power Automate or Power Apps, and you don't run into any licensing issues. All right, so now you have an easy, quick way to set up email functionality directly from your Power BI reports without needing Power Automate or Power Apps. Now, let me know what you think in the comment section below. If you want to learn more tips and tricks just like this one, check out my videos over here. If you want to follow one of my trainings, well, you can check out the Power BI design transformation. If you want to learn how I build my reports from beginning to end, if you are just looking for a solid foundation for Power BI, get your skills to an intermediate level, then check out my PL300 training. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.